So let's talk about stress incontinence, okay? So stress incontinence is when we have urinary leaking when we exert ourselves physically. So this could be during a cough, a sneeze, laughing, it could be jumping, it could be bending, it could be picking something up. So all kinds of things that we do during the day. And for some of us, we leak during these activities. So this is where that pelvic floor coordination really comes into play, and that awareness of our pelvic floor to be able to relax and also to be able to contract. So first and foremost, we want that pelvic floor to be able to relax, okay, so that we can contract it better, okay? So if a muscle isn't fully relaxed, and I like to use the analogy of the bicep. So if your bicep is in a little bit of a contracted state, okay, a higher tone state, when you go to contract it, this is all the contraction you are going to get. Versus if that muscle is fully able to relax, you're going to get a much more efficient contraction with that muscle. So same thing goes for the pelvic floor. So again, for stress incontinence, we want to make sure that the muscles of the pelvic floor are fully able to relax so that they can contract better, okay? So with some of these things, especially movement, bending, lifting, even jumping, we can try to use our breath to help with this. So for instance, okay, that exhale, when we exhale, that is when some of those muscles naturally start to activate, but we can also activate those a little bit more efficiently or intentionally during some of these activities that we know kind of give us a little trouble. So for instance, okay, we're gonna go pick something up, okay? I have the object here, I'm going to inhale, okay? Exhale, I'm going to lift the object, okay? Sit to stand, sometimes when I get up, that's when I leak, okay? I'm sitting down, I take my breath in, and I exhale, engage that pelvic floor, and I stand, okay? So one thing we should not be doing, and a lot of us do without even realizing it, is we hold our breath, okay? So when we hold our breath, when we lift, when we do this, what happens? The pressure in our abdomen increases. That creates more pressure on our bladder, more pressure on the pelvic floor. And if that pelvic floor has some weakness in it, what's going to happen? It's not going to be able to support, and you're going to have some leaking. So really trying to use that exhale and that breath during a variety of different movement patterns that you're doing. The other thing that's kind of interesting too is looking at how do you cough? How are you sneezing? Okay. So how are you even laughing? Okay. So have you ever heard the person that does the little sneeze? Okay. Where they're trying to stop the sneeze. Okay. So, I mean, yes, we are in the day and age where, okay, we know now that when we cough or sneeze, we shouldn't be coughing into our hands. We should be, coughing into our arm to kind of prevent, the spread of stuff. But as you cough, that you still don't have to muffle. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are actually getting that good airflow out. Okay, so when we sneeze, achoo, let that out, okay? When you do that, I mean, just by doing that, you can feel how that pushes down on your pelvic floor, okay? So even too, when we're coughing and sneezing, sometimes even our head position, can be impact how that airflow comes out. So try coughing, with your head upright versus down, okay? As you go down, typically for a lot of people, that airflow is a little bit better. Okay, so really making sure, okay, no more dainty sneezes, okay? When you gotta cough, you gotta cough. When you gotta sneeze, you gotta sneeze, okay? No, I mean, I've even seen people, kind of hold their nose when they're sneezing, okay? So remember, use your arm, but let that airflow go. So again, yeah, two important things with stress incontinence, or two big things that you can start working on, again, is letting that air flow out. Don't hold that air in, so not holding your breath when you're doing movements. Let those sneezes and coughs out, and then really working on that exhale and that coordination with your pelvic floor, and really knowing my pelvic floor can relax, my pelvic floor can engage, and I can use that to my advantage when I'm doing different movement patterns.